Now let's look at treatment approaches for people over here on the mood spectrum. In this first video of 3, we'll look at non-medication approaches. These are important ingredients for everyone with depression, but they're a little different for people over here on the mood spectrum. Here are the principles behind treatments for this end of the spectrum. First, the goal is stop the shifting, the cycling. And thus, the second is we use mood stabilizer treatments, which third, ideally, also have an antidepressant effect because that's the main symptom across the mood spectrum and especially here in the middle. But not all mood stabilizers are pills. Some people, especially in the middle of the mood spectrum, may do well just with careful management of specific behaviors like sleep hours. Here are some important tools for that. First of all, learn more. This video series is just an introduction. The more you know, the more you'll understand what you need to do and why it's not a great idea to stay up all night, for example. Second, there's cognitive behavioral therapy, or CBT. This is not Freud stuff, not about dreams or your mother, about lying on a couch. This is about learning skills to manage thoughts and behaviors that can make depression worse. Third, there's a version of CBT that was designed for people with bipolar 2 and bipolar 1. Although not research tested for mid-spectrum mood problems yet, it seems very likely to be helpful. So I think that's a good idea as well. And one particular version of that, number 4 here, is bipolar-specific CBT called social rhythm therapy. It focuses on managing your sleep rhythms especially, as well as other daily routines like physical activity. And most people find that working on these things is easier with a guide, a therapist. But this is not sit and talk therapy. It's about learning skills. There's a book for bipolar 1 called The Bipolar Disorder Survival Guide. But for mid-spectrum mood problems, there are other resources. I wrote one a long time ago that's been updated by my co-author, Dr. Chris Aiken, and I wrote one for people who need all the details, like everything I wanted psychiatrists and psychotherapists to know. And nearly everything in these books is also on a free website that I built years ago. It's less well organized there, but has the advantage of being cost-free. But there are workbooks that I think may be even more directly useful. They combine learning with doing, if you do the worksheets anyway. So if you have a therapist, talk to them before buying a workbook. They might personalize the exercises for you, maybe even without buying the book. But if you don't have or can't get your own therapist, these books become more important. In particular, the social rhythm therapy techniques, especially around management of sleep, that's really important stuff. Some research suggests that it might be enough to keep people from needing a medication approach at all. And if you do need a medication approach, these techniques will almost certainly help you get better results from those pills. You're going to Google social rhythm therapy, aren't you? All right, you already have. Okay, well, fine. Just make sure you see this site. These are the professionals. In summary, treatment for mid-spectrum depression is not just pills. Learn, use basic and bipolar-specific CBT techniques, and develop social rhythm skills. In the next video, we'll look at medications for mid-spectrum depression. It's not the stuff that we use for bipolar 1.